Oh, hey folks, how you doing there? Coming to you today on, of all things, Friday, June 24th. And it's been a while since I've done, well, pretty much any form of an EDC video. So, you know what? I guess it's time to do just pretty much my version of an EDC video. Now, usually you guys know I'd be carrying the Pocket Killer Swiss Champion, which one it is. I think it's actually the Champ. This one's really kind of a nice one because it has the pliers on board, has the the bailing hook carrying guy. Of course, it has the pen, it has the tweezers, it has the toothpick. It's got a actually literally a pin, like popping blisters and such. Corkscrew, obviously, and of course, it has the eyeglass screwdriver. Has a small chisel on the back. All it's pretty much everything. Two blades, a nail file slash metal saw, has an actual wood saw on board, has the classic uniquely I've used it for everything tool, fish scaler, ruler, hook disgorger, magnifying glass, Phillips screwdriver, two regular screwdrivers with bottle opener, can opener. I mean, these things are just ridiculous, but it's 10 ounces in your pocket. It literally shreds your pants. You can ask pretty much anybody. These things pretty much they need to really have a belt pouch because they will just literally wear your pants pockets completely out. So in deference to that, I've been carrying more, something along the lines of like this guy. I think this is actually a climber or something. I forget which model it is. I'll put it in the annotations, but it's really kind of more of a, they usually refer to these things as plates, how many plates it is or how many lines of tools it has. And this one is actually a three or four plate. I forget which one it is, but it's kind of detuned, but it's good enough for a standard carry. Has those two devices on board: bottle opener, can opener, two blades. In this case, it only has a wood saw and it only has a pair of scissors. But that said, it's still a pretty good amount of kit. It's lost some stuff and lost some other fluff, but it's a very much easier carry in your pocket. So I've been putting this one to the side for a while. I haven't been carrying as much. Truthfully, I probably need to have this thing sent back to Victorinox and have it reworked because it's tired, man. I've used it so much. I've literally almost used this thing to death. All the parts are really lost their snap. There's a lot of stuff that kind of needs to get updated. The springs are all tired. Some of the tools are broken. Either I need to retire this and put it into an EDC kit, just in case, pretty much that's going to go in my car bag, or I just need to replace it and put it in line with something else. So I've been varying between this one, which I think is the Climber, and I've also been playing with this one, which is the Fireman. And this is one of the true lock blades. And the other thing, too, is also Victorinox uses sizes. So I think this is a 109 millimeter for length, and this is a 111 or a 114 millimeter in length. And literally what they're talking about is they're talking about the actual length of the actual unit itself. Now, this is a true lock blade, so it's not going to unlock until you slide the button back. But it is very nice in regard. It has a seatbelt blade, gut hook, call it what you will. Does have a bigger saw blade. Of course, has that standard bolt screwdrivers thing and, can opener, bottle opener. And, of course, a corkscrew and, of course, an awl and, of course, tweezers and, of course, a toothpick. So this one's actually not a bad carry. It is a bigger knife, though. I mean, in terms of actual size, I mean, it's a centimeter longer or so, half an inch. It's a pretty good pant load, pocket load, call it what you will, but it is not ridiculously heavy. Is this on order of about this? These are fairly close in weight to one another, and this one's just basically the smaller of the two. You can put this in a pair of dress pants. Doesn't really stick out too much. This one kind of hangs out a bit because it literally fills the bottom of the pocket. So I'm going to say for EDC, it's going to be one of this, one of that. What usually also do I carry? I carry my standard corridor wallet that I've been carrying for flipping ever. And I do have ID, so I'm not going to flip this over and show you the other way, but I will show it to you like this. And it does actually have an actual Velcro pocket here, my credit cards, another pocket here with a bunch of business cards associated, guys. Another middle pocket here, which is good for stuff. Has another pocket, let me flip this around here, has another pocket I can tuck stuff in behind. But the biggest thing is, of course, is it always has carry and always does have on board. It's always got my Spyderco Spider card. So it's always got that on board. As a matter of fact, when I take this out of the wallet, it doesn't feel right because my wallet is too light. That's how acclimated I've gotten to this thing. So I've always got a knife on board, and it's sharp, man, because I've barely used that knife. So it's got the ridiculous razor-style factory edge on board. So literally, I'm also carrying always my wallet. Conversely, I've always got my 600 DA Casio G-Shock from hell, ass-kicking watch from hell. I literally been swimming like crazy with this thing, really for the very good reason. Not the fact that I keep testing the fact that it's waterproof down to, 200 meters, 660 feet, but the fact I'm outside and it is a solar watch. So literally every time I'm out and I'm swimming around, I am wearing it correctly. You can see actually I've got a watch tan. I'm wearing it in correct orientation. So every time I'm swimming, it is charging because most of the time your hands are facing out from your body. My standard carry on a watch though, this has been something I've done forever. All watches I've always worn them face inside. It's just something I've always done. I always always wear a watch with the face to the inside. I don't know why I picked that up. It feels right. Probably because I have such large wrists. It's flatter on the inside. It just carries better. And this is a really chunky watch. You can ask anybody that's ever worn with these 600 DA guys. They are thick. I mean, this thing is every bit of about a centimeter thick. It is a thick. It is a heavy. It's a tank. Okay, it's literally weight on par with the really high line Rolex. I mean, this thing is a substantial ass watch. That said, it is shockproof. It is solar. It is atomic. So it is always dead square. I mean, I'm looking at my computer now. My computer's off by 6 minutes. This thing is dead nuts. Okay, it's giving true time, true everything that it needs to do because it is just that good. So that is also one of my standard carries. My next standard carry, and this has been one of those things I've been carrying for flipping ever. This is a locking only in the aspect of the gate. So a standard climbing carbiner, non-locking variety, alloy, very high test unit, and I've been carrying that forever. So literally, I've also got my Hammerjacks, my Hammerjacks keychain on board because I always rock the brand, and of course all my various car keys. My keys, Mrs. Dude keys, and the other thing too is this is kind of one of those quick grab and go things. If you guys get one of these silicone guys and you slip it over your car versus the wife's car, you know for a fact tactily which one is yours because you're always going to grab this one. As a matter of fact, I mess up bad because Mrs. Dude has one on her car. So they're the same key for the same car. She's got a 2006 Honda CR-V. I've got a 2005 Honda CR-V. The only way you're going to tell by fact by sticking the key in the car and going, it's not starting. Oops. But if you can't open the door first, that's kind of a clue. Because you do have the buttons on outside. You have so it's a lock, unlock, hatch button. Literally like hatch, you hit the button and a little glass thing goes, book. It unlocks, and you have to open up the half glass. So that's kind of one of the really nice things about our genre body style versus one of the later ones, is you actually can just open up the hatch, put something in there, pull the tonneau cover back down. You don't have to swing the door all the way out. It's kind of one of those nice little things that was a carryover from the previous body style to our style, which was the second generation. The newer stuff doesn't do that. That glass doesn't open. You got to open the whole hatch, and the hatch goes up vertically. Ours open to the side. Also on board, I have my wedding band. And Mrs. Dude will tell you, this is a replacement. I literally lost my original wedding band. This is a replacement. Now, the thing is, you can hand this thing off to somebody and they're like, wow, this thing's really substantial. Yeah, there's a reason why. It is a tungsten wedding band. Yes, they're more brittle, but these things do not take wear. And the running joke is, well, Mrs. Dude, if I ever get in a car fire, you'll know it's me because this is the only thing that's going to survive because cars melt at about 3,000 degrees. These melt at about 8,000 degrees. So literally, that's going to be one of those archivable things. Everything's going to go bye-bye, except they're going to see this little black band glowing red in the car, and they're going to go, oh, crap, that was Dude. Yeah, so anyway, this is going to be the standard EDC that I have on my person at all times, that I'm out and around doing various things. Oh yeah, I did actually forget something. I forgot my Samsung S5, and I have come up with a replacement for the previous, which was the S3, and I simply just have a holster. Now, I actually did a modification on this one. This one actually slips out of the holster quite a bit easier. I mean, it used to lock in there, but I normally carry a phone in my front pocket, and the holster stays locked in, and I can just slip the phone out of my pocket, slip this back into my pocket without having to remove the holster. Now, the cool thing is this holster actually is kind of a really cheap one I found on eBay, but it actually is kind of nice because it does actually kickstand, and you can also reverse your phone, and you can, cheat and watch movies and what have you, and all the rest of that fun stuff and folderol. You can actually stand it up. Hang on a second here. Let me get my orientation correct. You can actually stand it up, so when you're like looking at like stuff in a restaurant and what have you, or if you're just doing your diner thing, you literally have all this stuff handy. And it's just more toys and stuff I figured out that just kind of works for me. Now, your results may vary, but I've found really good service with these just really cheap cases. And by and large, I'm not going to cry if I have to cut them up. And this one is actually so cheap that the actual kickstand on the phone itself, the actual cover on the phone itself, broke off. Now, the problem is this is a really, really slick plastic, and actually I have dropped the phone a few times. Thankfully, though, the S5 is a very, very tough phone. The S3, I actually dropped the worst way possible on a concrete, face down, and it bink just the right corner of attack and, cracked the corner, and I have a little line zipping down the center of the screen. Phone still works. Phone still works great. I can pull the SIM card out of this one. I can pop it into that phone, interchangeably have use for my S3 and my S5, depending on the situation. But this one shoots video so much better than the S3. And the only druthers is the internal microphone on this one kind of sucks. And there's a reason why. The S3, you drop it in water and you cry. This one actually has a little hatch with a seal. Hopefully you guys can kind of see that. There's actually a little gasket on there. And that's going to be for your USB. And it's a USB that's kind of a strange orientation because it's actually a really fat USB. So it actually has two different charging stations that fast charges your phone. Now the kicker is this thing is also waterproofed. You can take this phone and you can drop it in excess of a foot of water, up to 4 or 5 feet of water, and recover it within 5 minutes, and it will survive. No problem. Because the back cover actually has a gasket on it. The front is, of course, a sealed piece of glass. The USB is not waterproofed, but as long as you have this little hatch closed, it is waterproofed. The actual headphone jack is waterproofed, and they say water resistant. They don't really mean like take the thing swimming and what have you, and every time you take it into the shower, sloshing around and whatnot. They're saying worst case scenario, you drop it in the drink, you're going to get it back, it's going to function, no problem, and your phone will survive. Am I going to test that theory? No, but I'll tell you what, man. I can run around in the rain, and I don't have a single care in the world. Why? I'm wearing a dive watch. Why? My phone is pretty much basically not greatly set up for it, but is basically waterproofed to such length, depth, and breadth that I don't have to worry about these things. All right, folks, let me break up on this one. This is my EDC for June 24, 2016. And I want to give you guys kind of a heads up and all good stuff like that there. Do be sure to have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday. And like I usually say, eat good, keep centering as always, you know, and you love it. Oh, EDC goodness. See you guys.